Hey peoples, it's November 4th. You know what that means. It's the day after election. Hooray for America. We haven't blown ourselves out of the water yet. Everybody in my neighborhood's still alive. Okay, what did I say here? A union more perfect. We've got work to do. It's a thought. A thought. Red, white, and blue. Rainbow people like me and like you. Everyday people. Everyday people across the land. Okay, here I am. I voted. Well, how do you explain yourself, guy? It ain't easy, people. It ain't easy. Life. And diversity, and how could it not be diversity? Because that's just the way it is. Nobody thinks the same. Talk to anybody and you penetrate deep enough in here and they go, oh, I thought I had an ally, and then you realize that person is completely unique too. We're all a bunch of nuts on this planet. It's a beautiful thing. If we can just maintain a little peace. I get very patriotic at various elements of existence, and yes, I have to say I voted for Trump. I did. I didn't think I was going to do after that first debate. And how deep can I explain? I don't know. Maybe I don't have any explanations, except I feel like I couldn't go anywhere else. I couldn't vote the other direction. And apparently right now it's all up in the air. It looks to me as if Biden has an advantage and might take it, and probably there'll be a huge mess, and hopefully we can move through this thing peacefully. Got a long ways to go. I'm an optimist. I don't know why. Maybe I'll be an optimist. Well, I am an optimist, even though I could use more optimism. YMCA in my personal life, young man. Yeah, I was gonna get a couple of quotes up here. Let's see here. Let's do Matt Taibbi. He's a, I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name right, Matt. He's a writer, used to be a writer for Rolling Stone magazine. I don't agree with everything he's written or style or anything, but right now he's one of the few guys with a certain degree of cojones and digging in there and sees through a bunch. So I'll just read one line from his latest writing that you can find it on Substack.com, where also Glenn Greenwald has moved over to Substack.com after being censored off his own news channel that he created 5 years ago that would be a bastion of safety where journalists could write what they want. Anyways, so on Substack.com, which is maybe what I need to investigate, on a piece entitled The Worst Choice Ever, Matt says, Donald Trump is going to be a difficult case for future historians because he's simultaneously the biggest liar and the most lied about politician in American history. He says the standard propaganda lines about Trump are all incorrect. The usual technique involves sticking his name in headlines next to absurd disqualifying descriptors. Fascist, traitor, dictator, well, racist he didn't put in there, period, and so on. So, yeah, I think you're right, Matt. You're absolutely right. And somehow I voted for this guy anyways. I think partly because of, like I say, I just couldn't conceive of voting for Biden and what's her name? Kamala. It just seems like voting for a terrible cover-up. The cover-up is in the blue states. All right, I'm queuing up a familiar voice here. Wonder if this will work. Come on here, Bill. You've heard this before, people. Oh, I see.
That's why our administration has moved aggressively to secure our borders more by...
Here we go. Let's go back in the way back time. Come on, you old computer. Now what?
I will present to you, we will...
What?
Arrested for crimes to better identify illegal aliens in the workplace as...
Listen to President Trump back in
Not only in
19...
the states most heavily affected, but in every place in this country are rightly disturbed by the large numbers of illegal aliens entering our country. The jobs they hold might otherwise be held by citizens or legal immigrants. The public service they use impose burdens on our taxpayers. That's why our administration has moved aggressively to secure our borders more by hiring a record number of new border guards, by deporting twice as many criminal aliens as ever before, by cracking down on illegal hiring, by barring welfare benefits to illegal aliens. In the budget I will present to you, we will try to do more to speed the deportation of illegal aliens who are arrested for crimes, to better identify illegal aliens in the workplace as recommended by the commission headed by former Congresswoman Barbara Jordan. We are a nation of immigrants, but we are also a nation of laws. It is wrong and ultimately self-defeating for a nation of immigrants to permit the kind of abuse of our immigration laws we have seen in recent years, and we must do more to stop it.
Wow. Look at those racists talk, huh? Well, they were Americans. Democrats and Republicans. Fascinating, fascinating. And now it's 2020. And I don't think Trump almost spoke that harshly, though, of course, he uses his wild language. Yeah, the lies spoken about him, and then the reality of who he is. What a tough position to be in, and God, how do we see a peaceful way out of this? I just want to keep chanting "Hooray for America" with peace signs. Yes, peace signs. I swear. What do they call it? The sign of the American chicken. Buck, buck. I don't know. Do you have the courage? Oh my God. Yes, we do. We do. It means courage, guy. On earth as it is in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Holy cow. Doing some reading, thinking, meditating. California, trying to find a place to live. Maybe I got to move up to the gold country. Who knows? Maybe I'll find a place here in Marin County where everybody has somebody working in their yard with a leaf blower every day. And that's good because everybody needs to have somebody blowing leaves in their leaf, and that provides employment for all the refugees. Was it 79 point something million refugees on the planet Earth right now this year? That's horrible. That's painful. How many homeless people in America already refugees in their own country? 500,000 refugees in their own country. How many people leave California every year? The number was 200,000. They were both blue people and red people. They were people who were fed up with the California mentality of build and screw each other, and they were blue state people, and you know, they were Democrats going to Texas now to make Texas a Democratic state, and Republicans who are, anyways, it's just, we're just in this place on the planet where talk about flattening the curve of COVID. You know, in 1970, I've said this 100 times, when as a young man, we looked at the population curve and went, as young college students, like, whoa, what are these people going to be dealing with in the year 2020 or the year 2030? What was Paul Ehrlich's book, The Population Bomb, which people tend to laugh at now because he made it so dire for so many years past, where obviously we've evolved and keep evolving ways of finding means of keeping a ever-increasing population alive. But what is going on? What is the subtext of what life is becoming here? And here in California, and all the blue states, it seems to me, are missing something about country life, missing something about room to breathe. And yeah, I guess I'm going to say something too about the politics of this Republican. There's not much I can say. I'm going to put together two. I didn't see any Republican billboards, posters. I didn't put a Trump pin on it. I didn't know what I was going to do until the last minute. And even then I wasn't sure, but I had to do it. It's just something like that. There's a lacking of common sense in blue states, I gotta say it. There's something that's just not fulfilling some fundamentals. And so I did find a Republican poster in the town of San Anselmo, and I liked it. You know, and what it was, most people wouldn't have seen it. If I can find it. Yeah, it was a flyer that somebody put up in the laundromat, and the laundromat that's probably used about 90% or 95% by immigrant workers, mostly from Hispanic countries. And it's sort of like an introduction to what a Republican is. It says, here, I'll turn the camera on it for a second here and see if I can get that. Soy republicano, porque. It's a little, the creed. Creo means I believe in Spanish, right? You've heard that before, some of you know that. So here's this. Creo en igualdad de derechos, igualdad de justicia y igualdad de oportunidades para todos, independientemente de su raza, your color, independent de su raza, your credo, that means what you believe, your sexo, independent of your sex, independent of your race, independent of your beliefs, independence of your age, independent of your discapacidad. You know, if you got some disabilities, you have equal rights under the law, equality of justice. There's equality for you. That's huge. That's huge. And I don't know what happened to Proposition 16 in California, which will bring back affirmative action, which basically says that the opposite of what here it's going to say, you will have rights dependent. You know, your race will now be determined because we have decided that certain races have been oppressed and suppressed by people like me, the white European ancestry children of the Euro folks who came across to this country and did all their beautiful mischief. And it's a mix of beautiful and whatever. But I'm just into the Hooray for America thing. I think that's the reason why we got all these beautiful people trying to get to America, is because they want a land of liberty, they want a land of law, they want a land of security, they want a land of opportunity. And it's a beautiful thing. I don't think it's a good thing. Matter of fact, it goes back to what my dad would tell me. My dad was an active, liberal, dreamer, utopian socialist. He proudly claimed he was a socialist. But he also told me, and I took some of what he taught to heart, and some I put me in a skeptical mind that I am of today. That one of the things he told me regarding the communists of his era, I'll never forget his description of why he would not be a communist, because he wouldn't be supporting anybody who thought that the means, the tactics you use to create a better world will justify the vision, what you hold, being so pure and noble, will justify your less than ideal tactics, the means, violence, or putting someone down to put somebody up, or this is the most potent principle that I wish everybody could get under their skin. The means by which you promote your world, your vision, is what kind of vision you're going to get. So if you're going to use violence, you're going to use hatred, you're going to call people bleepers and fuck you and get your sign out of here. You can't speak like that. That offends me. It's like, wrong. You're not going to get. It's not the world we're going to get, that we need. If you want that world of peace and love, where you can be somebody with a completely unique opinion about something that everybody else feels differently about, and you can feel safe. I mean, you might not like it, the fact that nobody agrees with you, but at least you know that people will laugh at you or look at you, and they're going to let you say your piece. That's the world we're looking for. So one more thing is Mr. Trump, maybe we're heading for the last days, maybe he was heading for more hard times. I wish everybody would tone it down, back down. No violence, please. Just don't, please. Please, I say. All right, going back to COVID-19, which might have been his undoing, if it doesn't make it to this election. Back on Wednesday, March 11th, was the day that Trump announced he was suspending travel from Europe for 30 days as part of his response to the, quote, foreign coronavirus. CNBC said, yet as the virus increasingly spreads throughout the U.S. by community transmission, it is not at all clear that travel restrictions can significantly impact the spread. That was the story that CNBC had. CNN said, a drastic step he framed as an attempt to contain a spreading health crisis. A drastic step he framed as an attempt to contain. NPR said, chaos follows Trump travel ban. EU says it wasn't warned. The morning after Trump spoke, Lawrence Gostin, Gostin, a public health law expert at Georgetown University. Now, I see Mr. Gostin's name continually in the newspapers as a source of expertise, particularly as an anti-Trump source of expertise. Mr. Gostin called the president's travel ban incoherent. Again, I think that was the second time we heard incoherent, wasn't it? Maybe not. Incoherent, and said it would have no impact on the coronavirus outbreak in the U.S. It goes against recommendations of WHO and other international agencies, said the expert Lawrence Gostin the morning after Trump spoke. And I just putting that out there as a light thing in terms of Taibbi noticing that there's a lot of, that Trump gets more lies about him than anybody's ever done. That's an example. I mean, Governor Cuomo, did you ever notice that travel ban? to Europe? How did that affect JFK in New York City at March 11th? What was going on? Was there ever a point of saying thank you? Because I don't think that was on your lips to do a travel ban at that moment. Anyways, just among a number of positive things that came out of the White House over the 4 years of Mr. Trump's administration. And I wish you all a peaceful and beautiful transition into a world of where we learn about ecology. The big lesson of ecology is everything is connected. If you don't have that lesson in your brain, you're not part of the ecology. What do I say? You're missing out on the whole secret of ecology. It's all connected. And if you can grasp the fact that liberals and all humans and conservatives are all connected too, then you don't pour poison into this circle of humanity and life. That's what I have to say for today, peoples. And I say hooray for America again. And I'll have some thoughts about the Pilgrims coming up on 400-year anniversary coming up. All right, cheers all. Bye-bye.